He's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music.
Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. This is my review of a movie that came on yesterday. It was called The Antoinette Tuff Story. It starred Toni Braxton. I'm moving the camera. And yes, I am on my Android phone because I'm uploading something on my iPhone. So you're going to get mixtures today, people. But the movie starred Toni Braxton, and it was about a potential shooting that happened back in 2013. And so Toni Braxton played the person who actually saved the school from being shot by a crazy gunman. So I watched the movie. It was on Lifetime. If you have not seen it, it's a good movie. You should check it out. I think Toni Braxton did a great job in the movie. She, you see movies and you be like, oh, that's Toni Braxton acting like she's somebody else, and you don't really see the person in the character. She was completely this character. I didn't look at her and see Toni Braxton. I looked at her and I was like, okay, Antoinette, okay, I get it, mama. And it was a good little movie. It was 2 hours long. It was good. And who else was in the movie? Yaya, she was on America's Next Top Model. She was on Chicago Med. She also played Whitney Houston in the Lifetime biopic movie. So Yaya was also in it. Malik Yoba had a small scene in it. So it was a cool little movie. So Antoinette was the bookkeeper at this elementary school in Georgia, and she was covering for someone in the office one day. And while she was covering for someone in the front office, a guy, this 20-year-old white guy, came in with a gun, threatening to shoot all the kids in the school, to shoot all the staff, and it was crazy. So, in the beginning of the movie, we saw the gunman to sit in the car, listening to heavy metal music. We see Toni Braxton's character. We see Antoinette, but yeah, Toni Braxton's character. She's there. We see her at home. She has 2 kids. Her son is in a wheelchair. We see her get a phone call from someone, and she's kind of distraught and everything, but she kind of mustered up the courage or whatever, and she goes to the front office or whatever. And then we see the school had the doors locked because they showed a guy trying to get in, but he couldn't because the doors were locked from the outside, which I think is smart. I think you should have to be buzzed in or car swiped in for school, because you can't just have people coming in all free and clear or whatever. But the way he ended up getting in was another parent was leaving out the school, and when the gunman saw the person leaving out, the parent, being nice, they held the door open for the person coming in. And we do that all the time. You leaving or coming and going, you leave the door open for somebody. Like me, when I come home from work, or if I'm leaving for work, if I see someone sitting outside waiting to get into my apartment complex, if I see someone else parked in the parking lot, I will wait, okay? Unless it's my actual neighbor and I know it's my neighbor, and of course I don't care. Because my thing is, sometimes people will wait to see someone else going into a door to get access to a building. So I do that all the time. I will wait somebody out because I'm not holding the door for you. If it's my neighbor though, I hold the door for them all the time. So anyway, he gets in the building or whatever, and he just saying everyone's gonna die today. It was Toni Braxton's character and another teacher lady in the office, and he told the other one to leave and go tell everyone in the school that everyone's gonna die today. Everyone's gonna die. Let them know I know them. I'm like, why he ain't killing nobody though? But not that I want to kill anybody. So the whole movie was basically about the Antoinette Tuff and this gunman in the office, and her literally keeping him calm enough to not go do anything stupid, to not go actually shoot children. It was one point where he was asking her, how many kids are in the school, and she, at first, because she was so shocked and stunned, she was like, what? He was like, how many kids are here? And she was like, 831. 831. I'm looking 831 children. To think that a gunman had the idea to go to a school and want to shoot and kill any kid. let alone you want to know how many in it. You find there's 831, and you're like, okay, cool, I can kill all these kids. That's everyone's gonna die. It was just really really crazy. It was cool to see how when the teachers found out that there was an active shooter in the school, that they locked it down so fast. And, with getting all the kids, into the classrooms, locking on the doors, putting like tables and chairs behind the doors so that no one can get in. It was crazy to see the protocol that the school had in place. It was because at that time, we had Columbine, we had Virginia Tech, we had Sandy Hook, so things have been happening all over, and more schools had to have an actual protocol in case there was a shooter in the buildings to try to prevent anyone from getting hurt. And there was a thing of them saying, the first priority is the children. We have to keep the children safe, and we have to make sure that all the doors are locked and this shooter can't get to anyone. And if they're not locked, we're barricaded in to where he can't get in. And I was like, it's crazy that, just the precaution that people have to put in place just to protect children in school. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it was what it was. And it was weird because when the people were moving tables and chairs around to barricade the doors, when the gunman heard the stuff being moved above him, stop moving. Why are they moving? And it was a thing where he couldn't take the noise of things moving around him. And the whole movie was just her talking to him. She stayed in the office that whole time. She stayed calm. She kept just talking to him since he was a normal person. Talked about her children. She talked about her not graduating school. She talked about her not, not being, not growing up with her father. How she had an instance of being scared by a rattlesnake. It was just amazing to see how she was calmly talking to him. Even when he kept telling her to shut up, she would be quiet. Then she'd keep talking eventually and kind of just engaging him. So, he was like, call 911, call the news, let them know that, I'm here and I'm serious and I'm going to kill everybody. And, they need, I'm going to take it seriously. And, so she's having to call 911. She had to call the news station or whatever. And she called the news station first and then she called 911. And when she called 911, she got an operator played by Yaya, and they stayed on the phone the whole time. When she was like, the shooter here, he wants everyone to know, the police better not come in the building. They if they do, he gonna kill all the kids. And when she's like, hang up the phone. So the Yaya's character said, well, don't hang up. Like put me on hold so we can have a line of communication. So she put the call on hold or whatever. And it was just a really riveting story. Even though the whole movie was really about them two in the office talking, and just the conversation she was having, the flashbacks of different things, even the cops outside thinking, we have to rush to school or we have to take them out, and it was crazy to kind of see what happened. But I think the beautiful thing about it was this kid who we found out was basically mentally ill. He was bipolar and different things, and he was saying just different things. It was the part where Antoinette was saying how, she at one point was also suicidal. She brought up how her ex-husband proposed to her, but also proposed to someone else with the same ring, and she married him anyway. She brings up how he eventually came home and told her, like, after 30 years of marriage, that he was having an affair and he was leaving her. It was just a lot of things that she had going on in her life. So to think of her talking to him, letting him know, because he thinking, my life was so hard. And she's like, well, my life ain't easy. My life ain't too easy either. And just kind of letting him know that he isn't the only one having a hard time. And then, midway through the movie, I kind of just realized he don't really want to kill nobody, because even though he was able to walk through the school, when he would like try to walk out of a door, she'd say, nope, come back in here. And he would just come back. And he would think of it. I got to the point where I'm like, he wants attention. You know what I'm saying? He wants something else to happen. And so the kind of end of it was he was like, I'm bipolar. I've tried to kill myself before. And, you know, no one cares about me. No one loves me. If I died, no one would care. And she's like, you know, I tried to commit suicide. She's like, just today, you know, I got a phone call. You know, the bank said I owe $14,000. And if I don't give it to them, they're going to take my bitch. They're going to take my house and all this other stuff that she was going through. And it took her consistently talking to him for like how many hours that they were there for him to realize that he wasn't the only one going through things. And slowly but surely, he went from telling her to shut up and not listen to her story to saying, when she said, you know, my husband, you know, proposed to someone else, and, you know, with my same ring, he said, you didn't deserve that. You know, and then when he was saying, talking about her son was in a wheelchair, well, no one gives a care if your son is dead. And she's like, well, my son isn't dead. And he was like, oh. So it was her just talking to him and showing him empathy and showing him compassion that made him kind of stay calm, because he could easily shot and kill her. You know what I'm saying? How many times do people walk into places with guns and they just start shooting? And, you know, there was a point where he did shoot at the police, but he didn't kill anyone. And when he did it, I'm like, well, that fool crazy, because the police usually kill people, but they didn't kill him. And, you know, there was also a scene where there was like a maintenance worker who was outside in his car asleep with headphones on. So, of course, he don't hear anything. And he wake up like, oh, crap, I got to get in and go to work. So he go into the building. He didn't got his badge. And the cop like, well, crap, we can't go get him, because he said if we go up to the school, he going to shoot some kids. But we can't let the guy get in, because if he get in, he got his badge. The guy can then get through the whole school. So the guy walked in the office, and, you know, he was like, well, yeah, I'm here to get my check or whatever. Da, 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 da. And then she kept pointing to, like, it's a gunman right there. So he, like, hit him in the head with a gun. And then when he was on the ground, he shot him. I'm like, well, God damn it. Okay, now you're killing people. And, you know, Antoinette's character, when Antoinette was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And we come to look, and he didn't shoot him. He shot at him. And he said, you know, go out there, tell them I'm serious. Tell them I'm serious. I'm like, okay. At that point, I realized he trying to have the police kill him. He's doing things to get himself killed, because he tried to kill himself before. This is another way of him trying to kill himself. He's trying to have the police kill him. And, you know, because I'm like, why would you shoot the police? Because you hope they shoot back at you. And if you tell the police and, you know, the news that you're going to kill children, they're going to take you out with deadly force. And it was just crazy to see him kind of going back and forth with, oh, yeah, I just have to kill everybody. I should have went to a hospital. He was trying to think of where else he could have went to be killed sooner, because he never shot any children. He never went into the school to find anyone. You know, he never shot Antoinette. He shot at the man, but he clearly didn't shoot because he had an AK-47. You know, it's easy to kill someone at point blank range with an AK-47. So it became clear towards the middle, almost the end of the movie, that he wasn't really trying to kill anyone. He was trying to be killed. So the Antoinette was able to talk him down, keep him calm this whole time, and make him surrender at the end. And, you know, she was talking to the police who were thinking about taking him out. And she's like, no, you know, he wants to surrender. He'll put his guns down. If he can just walk out of here, you know, it'll be okay. And it was, for me, it's a very touching story just to see. And at one point I was mad because in the beginning of the episode, when he was on how he wanted to kill all these children, you're mad at him. You're upset because you're like, who would want to kill children? So you're pissed off. But towards the end of it, when you kind of feel bad for the shooter because he's mentally ill, you know, he didn't have parents, you know, no one's ever loved him. You know, we figured out that he had been, you know, diagnosed with bipolar disorder when he was like 11. He was being put on antipsychotic medications at 7. So the system had failed him as a child because he had all these mental health issues and he wasn't really taken care of with these mental health issues. So sometimes, for me, it took upon a role of showing how important it is that when you see someone who is mentally ill, to keep an eye on them. You know, make sure they don't run off the rails or whatever. You know, make sure that they can afford their medication. Because if you have a person who's mentally ill who can't afford their meds, they can go crazy and try to shoot a school of children. And I'm not saying everyone who does these heinous acts of crimes are mentally ill and they deserve any kind of sympathy or empathy. You know, some of them are straight monsters. But in this particular movie, we saw how he wasn't a monster, how he really didn't want to hurt anyone. He just wanted to die. And he thought the way to do that was to threaten to do something to these children. And it was just towards the end, you're like, you feel bad for him. Like, damn, you know, it's just, he's literally mentally ill, and he's so gone that he wants to kill himself, but he hasn't been able to kill himself. I think they said that he had like maybe 11 documented cases of suicide attempts on his life. And, you know, he was only 20. He was only 20. And, you know, 20 is young. 20 is young. Yeah, 20 is not old. So, to kind of see that was sad. And, you know, it was a thing of how Antoinette said she saw in him that he was really scared, but he was also angry. And how she knew that she just had to keep talking to him. And for some reason, God put her in that place to be the person to handle him. Because, you know, truth be told, had anyone else been in that situation, who's to say if they would have been able to keep him calm and keep him steady enough to not go off the rails. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at one point, you know, he was shooting at the police, and the police said, you know, if he shoot at us again, we're going to shoot back. And sure enough, the second time he shot at them, they shot back, and he ended up being shot in the shoulder. And at that point, he was scared, thinking that he had hurt someone. And then that's when he started to say, like, you know what, I wasn't trying to kill anyone. I don't want to kill any children. I just want to die. You know what, I should just shoot myself in the head. And he picks his gun up, and he's trying to kill himself. And Antoinette again is saying, you know, no, you don't want to do that. You know, you can surrender. You didn't hurt anyone. You know, it's okay. We can get you some help. And just not giving up on a lost kid who just needed some, you know, guidance. And I like the movie a lot. I love Toni Braxton in it. I feel like Toni Braxton with no makeup looks exactly like Trina. I kept saying, like, oh my gosh, she looks like Trina in this movie. But again, you know, her acting was great, and I loved it. So if you guys have not checked it out, again, it's called Faith Under Fire. The Antoinette Tuff story was on Lifetime. They also had a like little 1 hour special about the actual Antoinette Tuff, who was saying the same things, how initially in the beginning she thought he was a crazy deranged person trying to kill people, and towards the middle she realized that really wasn't what it was, and he just needed someone to talk to, basically. And the crazy part about it was when he surrendered, because he did surrender, so only one that was hurt was him. He got shot like in the shoulder. And when he surrendered, she said to him, I think she said, like, I love you and I'm proud of you. Yeah, she said that she loved him and she was proud of him. Basically because he did the right thing, found this guy, by surrendering and by not doing what people thought he was going to do by killing people. And I thought that was great. So, you know, again, if you guys haven't checked it out, it was still a great movie. Go ahead and take a look at it. But that was my little quick recap review of the movie. So until next time, people, I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.